Hello everyone! Today I'll be doing my original book tag, the Phenomenal Female Character book tag, inspired by so many fantastic female characters in literature that I've come to love. Sometimes not always popular, sometimes very popular. You'll see in my list soon. And I really wanted to make this tag because I just want to spread the female character love. So let's get started. For number one, your favorite. Who is your favorite female lead in bookish history? And I will have to go with Of Fred in The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. If anyone has read this book or seen the TV series, both very good, you will understand why I chose Of Fred, because she is so emotionally and mentally strong throughout this novel, and I'm not sure if the majority of people in general, not just women, though this is about women, but people in general could go through such turmoil and then be able to escape and from what you read at the end, live a pretty normal life. Number two, the scariest. Who is the scariest female character you've ever read? And note, she doesn't have to be a villain or evil, but for number two, the scariest, I chose Mary and Witch Child by Celia Reeds. I read this in middle school, and she is actually a witch during the Salem witch trials, though she survived, spoiler alert. But time when it was published in a way that the story was real and Mary was real, and as a middle schooler, I didn't understand that. And I was trying really, I remember Googling this over and over again, and anything that popped up regarding Mary and this book was written to be like it was a real story. So it was really real that she turned into a wolf type of thing, or she used magic, etc. and so forth, which is freaking great publicity for this book because I ate it alive, but I was also a little scared of Mary until I think it was a year or two later where I could finally find that this is fiction and there was no such thing as Mary. I was naive, I was a little scared, but I think it was it just added to the journey of reading about Mary in this book. So number three, Oh-so-sassy. Who's your favorite sassy female character? And I'm gonna go with Evie in the Diviner series by Libba Bray. And I just chose The Lair of Dreams because this is the second book in her 3-book series so far. There's a 4th one coming up, because I've already held up The Diviners and Before the Devil Breaks You. So this one needs some love too. I love sassiness, and I think that we need more sassy female characters. You see that a lot in male characters, as well as sarcastic male characters. I just want to see more sassiness, and even more sarcasm, and I don't think sassiness needs to be something that masks their inner, self-esteem issues. I don't want to see that. I just want to see sassy, and Evie is sassy, and I really appreciate sassiness in my female characters. Number 4, the kindest. Which female character is the kindest female character you've come across in literature? And I'm going to go with Elena Clovis in The Fairy Godmother by Mercedes Lackey. And I'm pretty sure that most of you, if not all of you watching, has not heard of this before. And that's okay, because Mercedes Lackey is a must-read. And I think Elena is the kindest in that. So this is a retelling of the Cinderella story, and she's supposed to be Cinderella, but something goes wrong, and someone's need to fix it. So I remember reading this when I was younger, and Elena is just so nice. There's more depth to her than the other Cinderella for, Disney. And she has to save a few people. Or a kingdom or two. Yeah. But she's very nice doing it. She might be firm, but she's nice. And I really appreciate kind female characters in literature, because you don't actually see that much. Because you usually see the nice female characters to male characters, but when you see female characters interact with each other, it's usually a little catty. I'm not sure why it's catty between female characters in literature. I think especially in young adult, maybe they're changing it. I hope they change it. But I would just want to see more kind, nice female characters interacting with everyone. Number 5, best character development. The female lead that's changed the most throughout the series. And I chose Cleopatra Selene in a novel of Cleopatra's Daughter, which is a trilogy by Stephanie Dray. We see Cleopatra Selene, an orphan living with Augustus, dealing with the aftermath of the death of her father, Mark Antony, and her mother, Cleopatra, and having to cope with the loss of her siblings. That's the first book. Then we see in the second book trying to cope with marriage, having to be married off. And then in the third book, we see her finally becoming a queen in Africa, and her journey with her husband and just bettering their country. And I think that is a huge development, because we see her as a young child, around 12, if I'm remembering correctly, in Augustus's household being treated so unfairly. And then we see her a queen. And I think that Cleopatra Selene, both historically and fictionally, went through a lot, and we need to see more female characters that go through a lot in their life and then come out stronger and better as a person. Number 6, sidekicks rock. The best female sidekick. And I'm going to go with Breed in A Greener Shore by Morgan Llewellyn. She is actually the 4th or 5th wife, I forget, of the druid Anvar. And you might be thinking, why are you giving this any attention? Because she is the 4th wife to a man. But she actually turns out to be a goddess and leaves all those humans behind. She is a sidekick for now, and she was a sidekick in the other book, Druid. But by the end, she's a goddess. Goddess! And she learns that she doesn't just have to be a sidekick. I think that's very important for everyone, because you don't just have to be a sidekick. You can become a leader, or you can become a goddess. I mean, it's fine either way. Number 7, your BFF. The one female character you'd love to have as a best friend. And that is going to be, for me, Grace O'Malley in Grania by Morgan Llewellyn. And this is actually the Irish version of Grace. I can't really pronounce this. I think I did it. Grania? So I just say Grace O'Malley. But she is one of the most well-known female pirates, specifically female Irish pirate, during Elizabeth's reign. Elizabeth I, not now. Just to make it clear, the first Elizabeth, and she is also pretty sassy and sarcastic and extremely strong, but also kind, respectful, but is definitely not about holding back, and will get her hands dirty if need be, and she would be an amazing BFF. Number 8, so misunderstood. Which female character is the most misunderstood? And I'm gonna go with Eve in Paradise Lost by John Milton. Everyone just harks on Eve and says she is the reason for destruction of paradise, and that's a lot to put on someone, especially since the tree of knowledge was placed right in front of them and she had to deal with Satan. I mean, I'm just saying. She's actually she's the second most interesting character, I think, in Paradise Lost. Number 1 will obviously be Satan. But she's second most interesting because she's kind of ditzy, and I think that's just Milton writing a female character because he doesn't know how to do that. But there are veins in this where it's really fascinating to read about her. And if you want to learn more about Eve and the symbolism of Eve in Western civilization, I recommend Eve, The History of an Idea by John A. Phillips. This is the symbolism of Eve and women in mythology like Eve and how that has shaped our society in good and bad ways, but mostly bad ways. Number 9, save the day. Who is the one female character you think would always save the day, no matter what she's up against? And I'm going to go with Aileen in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I just chose Queen of Shadows because I've held up a lot of the other ones. So, I don't think Selena would always save the day no matter what. I think Aileen would save the day no matter what. And she definitely proves that in the last 2 books that I mentioned that we all know and love. She is a strong, very independent, which can be a little bit of a hassle for everyone else, female lead. And I think she needs to get a little bit more props of that she would definitely save the day, and no matter what she's up against, it's gonna happen. She will be successful. It might not be pretty, it might not be peaceful, but she's gonna save the day. Number 10, I need more. Finally, which female character do you want to see more of in literature? And my answer for that is I need more female characters that show their flaws and emotions, as well as how capable a fighter they are at the same time. You can't have no emotions and no mental anguish, or, they need to have flaws, or else they're not relatable and they're not really human. Even if they're immortal, immortals have flaws too, and they have, emotions on occasion. Like, we need more of that. Female characters deserve more. So thank you for watching the phenomenal female character book tag. I will be tagging a lot of booktubers, so keep an eye out. All of those links will be in the description box below, as well as all the books that I shared, and all of my social medias are in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I hope you do your own book tag video of this tag, because I love seeing other people's opinions and favorite characters, and this is all about female characters, and we definitely need more female driven book tags. So thank you for watching. Have a great female bookish day. Bye.